cover the Prep 2 Rudiments Workbook, so that's the purple one, plus the Level 2 Supplemental Workbook. And in our next session, we'll cover the Level 3 Supplemental Workbook. At UMT, we got you covered. Today you will learn about Level 2 and what's new, why use chord symbols, and this is a good one, unstable or stable. You may be wondering if I'm talking about composing or if I'm talking about myself, and at times it is questionable. So if you'd like to share with me, feel free to enter in the chat box if you are unstable or if you are stable. Now I assure you that I will be presenting today on the unstable and stable degrees. So it's about the music, it's not about me. We'll also cover Mozart and music history, and a quick activity that you can use in your teaching right now. That's kind of cute. And finally, a UMT success story from our special guest, Judith. In Level 1, the table of contents itemizes the new concepts, and today we'll have a quick overview of a couple of these, including the functional chord symbols and root quality chord symbols, melody writing, and music history. Plus, we've included a bonus Level 2 theory exam and a special certificate for the successful completion of Level 2. Now remember that Prep 2 Rudiments Workbook includes the comprehensive review test at the end of each of the 12 lessons. Now these accumulative review tests build long-term memory, and it's one of the reasons that UMT is such a successful learning tool, and we're really proud of that. The Level 2 comparison chart found at the beginning of the supplemental workbook. Now this maps out the RCM Level 2 theory concept with the UMT Prep 2 Rudiments workbook. The supplemental workbook pages are indicated with a star, and these are the new concepts introduced in the RCM theory syllabus. So we've made it easy for you. Now the Ultimate Music Theory Flashcards app includes the beginner to prep level subject, and it's actually divided into 12 decks. These 12 decks correlate to the 12 lessons in the matching workbook, and you can actually get all the information at ultimatemusictheory.com. If you haven't got the app yet, you definitely want to grab it. UMT is easy to teach and it's fun to learn. So here's how it works. For example, in the Prep 2 Rudiments Workbook, students learn about major and minor scales. They're learning about pentascales, but they're also learning about scales and degree names. Now, in the Level 2 Supplemental Workbook, the title at the top of the page introduces the new concept and identifies the page that it follows in the Rudiments Workbook. So here students are learning about the new scale degree, the leading tone, and use after Prep 2 Workbook page 73. When both the Prep 2 Rudiments Workbook and the Level 2 Supplemental Workbook are complete, students will move on to the Level 3 Supplemental Workbook. So it's really an easy system, easy to follow. Now we're going to do some homework here. So I hope you got your pencil and your pen ready, paper and pen. Let's look at the new concept of chord symbols. Okay, so there are functional chord symbols and root quality chord symbols. Plus, they can both be major or minor. So what is the difference? Okay, so let's start off with a couple of rules. So here we go. The major tonic triad belongs to the major key of the tonic note. The minor tonic triad belongs to the minor key of the tonic note. So, Sola says the tonic note is the lowest note in the major tonic or the minor tonic triad. Now here's a Ti-Do tip for you. The tonic note in a tonic triad, so that's when it's in root position, is always the lowest note. And the tonic note is the first note in an ascending triad and is the last note in the descending triad. So whoever's the lowest note, that's the tonic. Now let's use this step-by-step system to write down your answers as we do this page together. You ready? So question number 1. For each tonic triad, name the tonic note and the major or minor key. So the tonic note is the lowest note of the triad, and it's always written as an uppercase letter. So the tonic note here in the very first question is E. To identify the key, now the first thing we need is the circle of fifths from the chart in the Prep 2 workbook. Now this helps us easily complete this exercise. When we look at the circle of fifths, we see that the major key with F sharp is G major. G major's relative minor is 3 half steps lower to E minor. So since the tonic is E, the key is E minor. When writing a minor key, we use a lowercase letter e. Next question, B. Write the functional chord symbol below the staff. The functional chord symbol for the major tonic triad is an uppercase Roman numeral I, meaning 1, and a lowercase letter I for a minor triad. Therefore, the functional chord symbol for E minor is lowercase I. Question number 3, C, or number 1C, I should say. Write the root quality chord symbol above the staff. Now, an uppercase letter is used to identify the root in a root quality chord symbol, as the root is a letter name. An uppercase letter followed by a lowercase m indicates a minor triad. So here the root is E and the quality is M for minor. So that's E, M. Let's do the next one together. So name the tonic note and the major or minor key. So the tonic note here, the lowest note is C. Oh yes, check, we got that one right. So now we're going to put in our tonic note C. We look at our circle of fifths, and when we have C as our tonic, our key is C major. Next, we're going to write the functional chord symbol below the staff. And when we have a major triad, the chord symbol will be an uppercase number 1 I for the Roman numeral, representing our functional chord symbol. Next, we're going to write our root quality chord symbol above the staff. And since it is a major, we will simply add C for the C major triad. The last one indicates that we want to first determine the tonic note. Now, in root position, the tonic note is the lowest note, which is G, so our tonic note is G. When we look up at the circle of fifths, we see that 1 sharp is either G major or E minor, it's relative minor. And in this case, because the tonic note is G, we are in the key of G major. And now our functional chord symbol will simply be an uppercase I, representing the major tonic triad. Write the root quality chord symbol above the staff. So the root is G, and it is major, so we're not going to add an M or anything else. It's just simply major, so that is the root quality chord symbol above the staff. Now, if you have questions about this, because this is a new concept for this beginner level, feel free to put it in the chat box and I will address any questions that you may have. I'd like to share 3 powerful teaching techniques that you can start using today. Now, the first one is C, connect. Connect with your students. Now, here's a different approach that will make you both smile. Connect with your students. These are my twin girl students. And as with all twins, there are many similarities between them. Same birthday, same parents, and they even often look the same. And yet, they are very different individuals. in connecting with my students, I decided to hide them underneath a pile of Sola and Ti-Do plush stuffies during our very first photo shoot because Sola and Ti-Do have arrived. Now, little Izzy, the one twin at the top of the picture on the right, was so excited. And she exclaimed in her best happy voice, she said, this is the best day of my life. Well, after all, she's only 8, and so this could very well be the best day of her life so far. Anyways, they're just adorable. We created the Sola and Ti-Do pack so that you could use them to connect with your students, and you're absolutely going to love them. They come packaged with the Sola and Ti-Do pack, which includes the 2 plush stuffies, Sola and Ti-Do, music theory guide and chart, plus a song and stickers. So it's a really cool pack.